UFC this weekend.
Is that part of the...
It's not part of it, no.
So we have a Thursday night, same game, no sweat. No, that hasn't been updated yet. The promo thing on 3-3, right?
Did you change your name in Discord?
I might have. Did you? Are we hot? Are we ready?
No.
Are we good?
Yeah, we're hot.
Oh. Oh, okay. I didn't change my personal name. I changed my 6 burner accounts.
Oh, got it. Got to keep a low profile.
Well, I'm like Colangelo. I'm paying too much use.
The web of lies.
Do you ever see that GIF? That
Say GIF. This isn't peanut butter, friend.
I know. Did you ever see that? You ever see that of the guy who's got like 50 phones and he's going like that? That's who you're arguing with on social media. 6 different accounts have jumped into the same conversation. It's all the same asshole. Hey, welcome back. You've made it. Not only have you made it 5 straight days, and that is a chore, so we appreciate that by all means, but you've made it to Friday. Here we are, ready for the weekend. We're not going to get out of here with another odd shop. That's Eric Lindquist. I'm Eytan Shander. That's Lindy. I'm Shander. Mike is producing. The 3 of us are here to do a lot more, but we will highlight the OddsShopper Premium tool as it's been thoroughly effective for us, financially effective for us. So, thumbs up, subscribe, all that. We're going to hang with you for the next hour and change. Eric Lindquist, how are you? You asked a couple of questions to me.
I'm doing fantastic. I'm just so happy to see your face. I'm just happy to be here on a Friday, kicking it, talking sports, talking to things I love to do. What?
You prioritize my face over talking about all that other stuff.
I do.
Okay.
But beautiful.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah. I mean, look at you. I mean, my favorite Lex Luthor lookalike contest winner that I've ever met in my life, Eytan Shander.
Isn't the original Lex Luthor Gene Hackman?
I think it is.
I don't look anything like Gene Hackman, do I?
Hackman.
Much uglier.
Just say Hackman for the rest of the program. That's entertaining enough.
Gene Hackman. Got to be one of the most overrated actors to ever live.
I'm actually okay with that take.
What about
I'm actually okay with it. People don't know.
Can I parlay this to Tom Hanks?
So we fell in love. So there are multiple opportunities that I've had a privilege to be able to jump on your radio shows.
Yes.
One of your million that you have going. I think probably our greatest moment of bonding was your very first nationwide doing the radio show. I come on. What's your favorite New Year's scene from a movie, Eric? On the spot, no prep, don't tell me anything. And all of a sudden, what comes out?
You nailed
Forrest
it.
Gump.
Forrest Gump.
It is.
Even the wife was impressed with you.
Thank you. I'm an impressive individual, Eytan Shander.
You are. You are. All right. Look, are you good? You ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. How are you doing? Happy weekend.
I'm making sure that you're fired up, that you're ready to go. You want to start over and do the whole thing again or what?
Nope. I was so in the zone looking at numbers and spreadsheets right before you came on. Then all of a sudden you started talking to me. It kind of caught me by surprise.
I know you were deep in thought by all means. Which is something we don't want to disturb.
Anthony Davis, assists, points, rebounds, plus assists. But figuring out what we got to do, what the game plan is here.
We have a couple of things we're going to do. Before we look at the top plays right now on OddsShopper Premium, just a reminder out there, all right? We're going to talk about the market-based approach with OddsShopper Premium. We're going to take you behind the paywall. This is all stuff that normally we're charging people. You're going to get a week free with a link below, but basically it's a Q&A. It's an LBL, if you're familiar with the DFS side, where you throw names out, you throw plays out. Hey, I really like this guy to do this. I really like that guy to do that. And then we check what the market says. So we have plenty of time to do all that. We have to look back, though, because Lofty's idea last night, Eric, and it was a good one, by all means. It was a really good one, was to give the power to the people. Now, normally, under every circumstance, when the public gets to vote on something, I don't care if it's for the All-Star, if it's for the president, or if it's for American Idol. Usually that's a bad thing to hand it over to the
uninformed,
right? I'm just saying.
I knew you were going to go there with it, and I was bracing for impact.
Well, look, I'm an equal opportunist, all right? I don't subscribe to any party, nor am I a Clay Aiken or Ruben Studdard guy. Like, I'm down the middle, all right? It doesn't matter here. But point being is that last night, the community parlay just missed. We went 2 for 3 here, and it was the community, all community driven, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Adjustments
is that you and I both get a pick, and then the community gets a pick, and we'll hit like we did on Wednesday. Better than plus 500 for anybody involved on pretty much any book that you had access to from Wednesday. We got to gloat a little bit. We're the winning ticket so far on the Odd Shop.
I left it there for you, man. All right. This was an Ephus pitch, a softball right there for you to smash.
Yeah, except for Ephus pitches are so hard to hit out of a park. It's a lot easier to take 95 and turn on it than it is to, take 45 lobbed through the air. Unless you're Higashioka, you probably don't get that reference.
Is that from?
He hit the slowest home run, I think, in the StatCast era. He hit a home run off an Ephus pitch earlier, last year.
He must have known it was coming.
He did. Well, it was a position player, which, by the way, we won't be having that nonsense coming up very, very shortly in a month.
Absolutely. All right. Trust me, that's going to be heavy as we shift eventually. But a lot in the NBA tonight. There is some news that we have to get to. Our own community parlay, right? Like, we do have our own community parlay. You mentioned our legs are out there. So we need to give people an opportunity for a poll here, right? Something to choose for, right? So we did dogs on Wednesday night. That came through. Is there are there a couple of money line dogs that you think we could put together here?
Oh, see, that's interesting because, then you're kind of forcing in some really nice payouts. I think there's one dog on the board that I'm okay with in the NBA streets, but I want to let the people pick. So we'll give them 4 options, money line dogs. Let's throw all the closest money lines where it's just like barely plus money.
Nets
we'll put them
together.
So Utah is even money. I think we can start there facing OKC. You've got the Pelicans facing the Warriors. You've got the Lakers. They're even money going up against the Timberwolves. And we'll round it out with Charlotte against Orlando, plus 145 there. So I think those 3 look to be the closest spreads on the board. I guess Miami Heat would be plus 130 if we wanted to do that. But that Knicks game, everybody knows I'm going to be on the Knicks. So
me too. So that's fine. I'm already on YouTube this morning, you last night, whatever it is. Like, we're all on both on the OddsShopper channel, OddsShopper Golf channel. Like, we're on everything here. So you already know where we stand, most likely on that game. All right, Mike, you've got those. Eric just laid them out. We'll put that out there in the poll. And before we get out of here, we'll show you our community parlay for tonight, which, as Lindquist mentioned, is back to us, back in our hands. So the two of us, each with a leg, and then you're going to vote on this. All right, my friend, let's look at the top board right now on OddsShopper. Let's just look at what the premium tool tells us the market is dictating are the best plus EV plays. And this is the best part about this show. Eric and I don't need to spend an hour prepping. We don't need to go back and forth about, well, you say this, and I'm going to bring up this guy, and then we're going to. It's just what the market tells us. These are bets that are beating the market across the board. We're looking in PA uniform here, as Mike will share in a second. But that's basically the concept of it, E, is that the market is dictating to us what book and what prop stands out, meaning somebody made a mistake, and the OddsShopper premium algorithm tool has found it.
Yeah, and we have the bet view now too, which is super, super helpful to be able to kind of see everything in one spot. You, of course, can still look at the individual player profiles, but for me, I'm always looking at how I can upload things quickly into a spreadsheet, be able to have my bets tracked, be able to do all of those things. And having this bet view where I can look at everything right down the line in terms of expected ROI, expected win percentage, see the sportsbook moniker on the side of the screen. Can't tell you how helpful that is as well, but it's truly a market-based approach. I preach it all the time. Every time I put my betting card into Premium Discord, it has the book attached to it. Where is the best line at? And sometimes you don't have access to that best line, but even then you can go to the player individual views. You can simply click on it and you can find what those odds are at other places. Because again, odd shopping is exactly what it is. We are looking for the best lines constantly. A market-based approach is simply finding the best plays based on where we're projecting out these players and where the other books are projecting out these players and being able to find the most advantageous numbers.
Absolutely. And that's the best way I think you can lay it out. If you go to the shop bets, we can go right to the NBA. Mike will follow here with us, so we can go right to the NBA. And if you look at it, and Mike, you may have to just make sure on the more filters that you're in PA with us, but Nasir Little is jumping out. There's a 9% ROI, Eric Lindquist, with a 9% right ROI, as I mentioned, 56% X win that we have it. So this bet is hitting over 50% of the time. It's a juicy number at 9, which isn't like, oh, it's 25%. Maybe there's a little something wrong or off. All we need him to do is stay under 12.5 PRA at minus 105 on BetMGM. So pretty good opportunity right there to start with the bet that is jumping out and popping out at BetMGM.
Yeah, it's truly an interesting thing we have going on with Portland right now. Anthony Simons came back, turned his ankle. He's going to be out again today. You still have Justice Winslow, who's been a part of that rotation out, and Yusuf Nurkic as well. But it seems as though Matisse Thybulle has played himself into a massive role on this team. Do you know how many minutes he played against New Orleans in that game that was more competitive than the 11 it finished out as? But did you see how many minutes Matisse Thybulle played?
30?
38.
38.
38 minutes he played in a regulation game on Wednesday. They are just riding with him. Cam Reddish is playing a lot of that backup role, 29, 24 minutes for him the last two. And again, that 24 minutes was partially because Simons ended up getting dinged up. So I think he goes back into that role. It seems like Nasir Little, more of a write-off than anything. Jeremy Grant playing massive rotational minutes there. You still have Eubanks in that front court. So Little, there's just not a lot of court time for him. So you're looking at a low usage play, somebody who played 15 and 17 minutes his last two games as well. Even with Josh Hart shipped off, it seems as though Nasir Little is not going to get enough court time to make this opportunistic. He's only averaging 6.5, 2.5, and 1 on the season. That grades out to 10. Look at me doing my math off the top of my head.
Yeah, don't ask me to do that.
You add those together immediately and the under looks good, but you would think maybe a couple extra minutes because of Simons, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case.
All right. You mentioned Simons. We kind of blew through this. This is my fault. Let's come back to this, Mike. Let's leave this up here. Come back to this because we should mention he's part of our news and notes of what we need to just reference. Again, the market is reflecting and will be impacted by people betting accordingly due to injury news. So if you just look at what we have, Simons is right up there, out as expected, but a couple of other pieces, of course, of information that could impact how you see things. And again, maybe you're looking at this thinking, oh, well, I'm going to bet a guy because of somebody else out or somebody's questionable. So I'm going to put a bet on their under. Let's see what the market says. We'll take your thoughts. We'll take your suggestions, what have you. But let's see what the market has to say on that. So we'll get our news and notes up here. The other one that I saw up as well was Malik Beasley. I know you saw that there. That's plus money. People love plus money bets, Eric Lindquist. And we can get Malik Beasley. They love
never noticed.
Just under how much they love parlays are solo plus money bets.
I like good bets. That's my favorite thing.
Well, this is both.
This is both. I was going to say plus 102 sitting on Malik Beasley there, over 3.5 threes. We're going to be running into that same situation where there's no LeBron James. There's going to be no D'Angelo Russell, who I believe is still listed as doubtful for that game. Dennis Schroeder is the one who's questionable. Yeah, D'Angelo Russell already ruled out. So potential for Malik Beasley to just step into that massive workload he's had the last couple. Only played 27 minutes. That'd be a lot of games to play 2 nights ago. But partially because you had Rui Hachimura come off the bench and play like an absolute man possessed. Ended up playing 27 minutes as a result. He looked really, really good out on the floor. But against Minnesota, you're looking to space the floor. You're trying to give any help you can to Anthony Davis. And I think Malik Beasley more likely to be playing 30-ish minutes going forward. So it's just an opportunity thing. He still got up 12 threes in the course of that time. Just those 27 minutes there in OKC. New circumstances here without LeBron. But on the season, we know Malik Beasley shoots more threes than anybody else in the NBA. So a volume play on him makes a lot of sense. One
more, and you see the news and notes there for you all out there. I did see a couple of questions, and we'll have plenty of time to answer these throughout by all means. Nate D was asking about Capella rebounds. I had his rebounds up. This is an interesting spot here, right? And again, right there at the top of our OddsShopper premium page, still have that week off. That's free for you. If you want to click on, we love that. Be a part of what's happening. This show is just taking you behind the paywall. So take advantage of the time that you have. But I'm looking at this, Ian, and now we have two examples. One is a negative ROI, which is just a negative EV bet. This is the OddsShopper premium tool telling you that the market is dictating right now that going under 11.5 rebounds for Capella is a bad bet. Minus 2% XROI. Yes, it's hitting at 51%, but losing it that much, you're losing money. The other one, and this is where I think people get caught up on parlays, adding a leg that's 0%. This is a stay away. Like for me, my interpretation of a 0% XROI is you're not winning, you're not losing. You bet it 100 times, 1,000 times, 5,000 times, what have you. You're walking away with zero. It's not helping you, like it's not hurting you. So it's a stay away for me. That would be his over 10.5 rebounds at minus 135. So the tool is not really slamming either side. And if anything, it's probably saying don't bet the under and pass on the over. Two different things. I know it sounds like semantics, but it's two different things.
Yeah, to kind of speak a little bit to the situation he's talking about, Quinn Snyder took over as coach. He's one of my favorite coaches in the NBA. He was with the Jazz, got kind of incorrectly, I think, let go over there. He's taking over for Nate McMillan now in Atlanta. And whenever you have new coaching staffs, new situations, they're going to treat players differently. Rotations are going to look different. And so I just pulled up popcornmachine.net. That's usually my go-to spot to be able to find it. You can also go to Add More Funds is another spot where you can track what happened in the game before and be able to see if there's anything from the rotations. You saw 35 minutes for Clint Capella with a rebound rate that's usually going to be sitting north of 22%. That would grade out as a massive amount of rebounds. But the key here is that it's not like the books don't know that. What happened last game was you saw that rotation. I think the assumption and what we're projecting out is just a very, very, very accurate projection. And so you don't want to get in the habit of seeing something like that happen. If he plays 38 minutes, yeah, you're going to be on the right side of it. But what if he plays 32? I'd be more inclined to be shorting him because of that massive workload, 35 minutes. It was a close competitive game against the Wizards, that first game. It's a great insight. It's always good to be paying attention to what coaches are starting to do with their new players. But, I can't remember the number of times we've had a coach take over mid-season like this, especially a team that still has some pieces and has some Eastern Conference aspirations, even if they're very minimal. So definitely a great insight, something to look at. But I think that number is pretty darn efficient today.
If I were to take away butter, what's the best thing you could add to popcorn? Salt.
Jalapenos.
Jalapenos. Okay.
Jalapenos. There's a reason they come next to it I love jalapenos and popcorn.
Really?
Yes.
I don't mean really like I'm about to turn over and vomit. Really, I've never. Where do you get jalapenos and peppers?
So I think it was always meant for like the nachos when you started going to. So I'm from South Dakota. People don't know. You just make shit up as you go along. You just try stuff. Right. But the jalapenos would always come with like the nacho thing, but they would have them served in the corner with like banana peppers and stuff at this movie theater that I used to go to
in South Dakota.
I got in a habit in South Dakota, and I got in a habit of just adding jalapenos to the popcorn, and it was delicious.
Okay.
I'm a sick person.
This is how stoned you have to be to live and get by in South Dakota, where you're just smoking a bunch of shit and throwing it together to see if it works.
It's like doing suicides. You know, the when you would go to Taco Bell and you'd get all 8 different spouts. You would just go down the line. It was called a suicide. I don't know if you ever had those growing up.
No.
Yeah, no South Dakota, we just made shit up. That's what I'm telling you. But jalapenos,
Gene Newby says ranch. I thought you were going to go with something a little bit more conventional, but jalapenos might win. That was fantastic.
I'm a sick person. What can I say?
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't. I should have given you more credit. Did you have jalapenos and popcorn at the Kings game last night?
No, I did not.
Okay. Kayla couldn't hook that up?
No. I got to spin the wheel. I won tickets to Ja Rule and Aaliyah, if anybody's interested.
No, Ashanti.
I'm going to be in Arizona. Ashanti.
Aaliyah is no longer with us.
Rip. That was wrong person. Wrong early 2000s. But yes, if anybody's excited for that one, Thursday, March 16th, I've got 2 tickets. Enjoy it.
Now, you're a man of impersonations. Can you do Ja Rule?
The way you walk, the way you move, the way you talk. Welcome to the odd shop, baby.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Kind of like a little bit of that.
It's you need a little more you need a little bit higher pitch, I think. You were there. You were there. By the way, shout out to Zach Morris, who used the OddsShopper premium tool to get Mercer -5.5 last night and got the other team +8 this morning. So you can see how lines move, markets move.
Love it. Just love it.
You were close. We have to come back to that, Ja. You were definitely close. All right, we keep having.
I was trying, baby. No, I don't know. He's like going into like Louis Armstrong.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you need a little bit more. You need a little more harmony. Where would I be without my lady? You know, something like that. Where would I be without my lady? You know, is that it? I was doing Christopher Walken this morning, so my throat is.
Oh yeah, see that'll ruin you for the day.
Well, I had to do King of New York for a video, and then I lost it, and it was all bullshit. So I'll save it for them. All right, let's look at a couple of promos.
Okay,
why not? That we have to do here. All right. By the way, jalapenos and popcorn. You've done people some favors here. They're going to try that tonight. I guarantee you that people are going to be tweeting you. At Eric Lindquist, DFS 999. What is it again? At Eric Lindquist?
It's just at Eric Lindquist, okay, you doofus. Okay. Yeah, you're the 999. Avoid the people. Right. Yeah, I was going to say.
Don't give away my email, would you? All right. Here's more questions, more names, more bets, more plays. We'll get to as many solo stuff as you want. We have parlays to build with no house advantage and PrizePicks to get to. Let's look at some promos, though, that we have for tonight. Right?
Let's do it.
Yeah, FK cool. I'm telling you, I did the Christopher Walken. It's murder. Like you gotta. It's hurting me, man. I got to do a lot tonight. Like I can't. I'm drinking tea.
Eric, stick to Austin Powers. I have so many. I'm pretty sure that I know every single word to the first Austin Powers, forward and backward. Ladies, very well. Where do I begin? Lingerie. We would luge, make meat helmets. It's really a fresh scrotum shave. It really is breathtaking. I suggest you try it.
I'd argue that Mike Myers is one of the top 3 most talented cast members to ever walk away from what he did after. The variety and range.
True.
It like Eddie Murphy is there, and you know, Pluto Nash aside, I get it.
Adam Sandler probably in some capacity.
I can't with him. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I get it. But that's my childhood, so I'm a little biased.
Okay. I don't know. Here we go. UFC 285 free square. We're going to get to that on NHN. So we're going to build a no house advantage promo coming up, and they have given us a free square to use for John Jones over a half significant strikes, which he's going to hit. So
Lock.
put that on the back burner. All right. By the way, Ricky, are we parlaying Knicks money line?
Barring a Masvidal knee to the face in the first second, like that happened, barring that, 100% to hit.
So Ricky on the super chat, we appreciate you. Definitely not necessary, but always appreciated. Knicks money line Jokic TD on the video. Lindy, you said Knicks money was a parlay piece. Look, we did this on the Discord earlier. If you're going to add the Jokic triple double, you're going to get better, especially depending on what book you're on. Let me just say this. But if it was on FanDuel, you're going to get a better return if you manually add 10 rebounds, 10 assists than you do the triple double, because the triple double has been so heavily played.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's not a bad play. I love the play. I tailed your play. I'm just saying you can manually build it.
Jokic triple-doubled 15 of his last 20. In the course of 2023, the big thing that's changed for Nikola Jokic is Jamal Murray is playing basketball. Like, we're talking accelerated, incredible offensive basketball. You've seen Jokic's assist rate jump from 41% to around 43.6% in 2023. He's triple-doubled 15 of his last 20. The man just continues to astonish what he's capable of doing. He's averaging only 33.4 minutes per game as well. I mean, we're looking at just one of the most historic type runs. I know we had this conversation about Russell Westbrook when he was in OKC and he was doing those unbelievable things. He had a little glimpse of it too with the Rockets and the Wizards, but I mean, this is Nikola Jokic on absolute meth right now. This is unbelievable to watch. So I love that call out. If you can get the 10 rebounds, 10 assists, and parlay that in a way where you get better than the -105 over on FanDuel, I'm all for that. But again, I'm projecting him out for 20, 12, and 12 almost every single night. And I'm just going to continue to ride it until he's -150.
Absolutely, man. So it's a good play there if you want to put it in there.
And I like the Knicks, of course. You like the Knicks as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're on to that. By all means. So that's the first one. Again, Ricky, we appreciate you and all the others. DraftKings has, and again, we're going to get to PrizePicks, flex play. That's fantastic. We'll build that. Massachusetts. If you live in Massachusetts, we just put a video out. I know because I did it. So we're going to have a video coming out for you. You have to get in before March 10th. That's when everything starts. But you just get $200 just for signing up. So the one that Eric and I are going to build right now is the DraftKings 3+ leg same game parlay. Now, I'll leave it to you. We can talk through this here, but is there a game that jumps out at you? And it doesn't have to be the most popular one, by all means. If you find there's a gem to build around in that Hornets Magic game, then so be it. Let's do it.
So we're just taking individual sides here for this
one?
No.
We're going to DraftKings, right? Okay. And we're building a 3-leg same game parlay because that's the promo, right?
Okay.
So this just has to be a 3. Now, we just need to identify the game first and foremost. If the chat's fast, then maybe they can suggest it.
Well,
but they have to
I
be
like
quick.
what the chat did earlier. I'm not sure it's what held up, but the Pelicans are kind of in an interesting spot here. I've gone back and forth with that game a couple of times, but Golden State on the second end of the back-to-back. That always is kind of intriguing to me, to catch a team fresh, or when you are fresh, catching a team that's on that home back-to-back. We just did it with New Orleans up against the Portland Trailblazers. That was my lock of the night 2 nights ago. That came to fruition. CJ McCollum over 30.5 was just fantastic stuff as well. But Steph Curry's not back until Sunday here. You're still looking at this Pelicans team. I really like the pieces that they've put together, even in the absence of Zion. I think Zion's going to come back sooner than people think. I'm pretty interested to maybe back New Orleans in the outright market, but I haven't as of yet. But +4.5 sitting there, or +165 if you want to go to the money line. Both of those grade out as above average bets for me.
All right, so let's do that. Let's put because this is a $10 risk-free bet. So we might as well jam these 3 legs. And the OddsShopper tool is going to give us one reasonable play that we can look at. You've given us the +165 here on the money line. So what we can do is go back to the OddsShopper premium tool and find specifically, as I am on DraftKings here, find specifically in this NBA matchup, the Pelicans Warriors game, right? Because that's the one you have with the New Orleans Pelicans winning. I've got Brandon Ingram under 6.5 rebounds. and I have Trey Murphy under 19.5 PRA. Those two jump out the most as workable legs here.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
I'm assuming that it's going to let us play the rebounds on the same game parlay. By the way, going to the same game parlay, you're plus 165 because I'm doing it here on DraftKings, gets bumped to plus 175. So I love this. Love this.
Let's fire that up.
Trey Murphy, you're not going to be able to go under his PRA. You're just able to play an alt line. So I think we do Brandon Ingram under 4.5, right? Or pardon me, the number was Brandon Ingram under 6.5 rebounds. You okay with that?
I'm okay with that. Again, not what he's on the floor to do right now. I can throw that out there.
Right.
Dude is unconscious.
Okay, so we have the Pelicans money line under 6.5 Brandon Ingram rebounds. That right now sits at plus 400. This is where I think we get crazy. This is where I think we add a stat, a play here that pushes it. Brandon Ingram over 27.5 points is plus 115. If I push Brandon Ingram's points to 30, that gets us to plus 170. Do you have an objection to that?
No, not at all. I mean, this usage has been out of control. There's nobody who is capable of guarding Brandon Ingram in the mid-range right now. I like everything that he's doing. And the minutes allotment, I mean, just look at this. 36, 37, 38 in competitive games. And if we're going to be playing a script, I always like to think about this too. It's kind of like showdown for DFS, but I like to think about what does this game look like when I'm building out a single game parlay. I don't do it often, as you know, but when I do, I always try to have a story that I'm trying to tell where there's either positive correlation put together with everything. But like the rebounds are kind of a throwaway. I think that that's just a really good projection on the under there. But when we look at the Pelicans winning, what does it look like? It's probably Brandon Ingram going for 30 plus as is. So him and CJ McCollum being advantageous on their minutes and the Pelicans winning it, it's like a boost to that W.
Plus 950, $10 same game risk-free parlay. Not bad, not bad. For the greedy out there, for the gluttonous out there, for those who love the jalapeno peppers and want their peppers and popcorn to eat it too, you could push this to 35 plus points, and that gets you to plus 1,800. That's all I'm saying. We'll keep it for the purposes of the show. We'll keep it 30 plus, okay?
All right, fair.
All right, there it is. Your DraftKings same game parlay. I did see on the chat Mac Hudson asking about CJ McCollum points. And you just mentioned McCollum in the conversation there with Brandon Ingram. So I'm pulling it up here on the tool just to see what I get. Of course, I have to wait, so you have to give me a second here. But I know we don't have hold music, do we?
Oh, we do now.
Points right now. All right, neither one of these. So Mac Hudson, thank you for bringing that question. No question is a bad question. Let me tell you what the market is dictating right now. The over 22.5 is a terrible bet. Minus 5 XROI. Yeah. And it's a 48% win chance. And look, to be fair to what we just laid out, and Eric can expand on this a little more, Brandon Ingram scoring 30 is not leaving a lot of room for McCollum to get to 25, 28, what have you, even over to 22.5. But the under, you think, all right, well, let me just go to the under. No, the under is at minus 2 XROI. So the market right now hasn't been able to find any real wiggle room. You can bet this bet all you want, but know that it's not a good plus EV bet. Doesn't mean it won't hit tonight, but long term, both of these sides are losing bets.
Yeah, I think the over 2.5 threes would probably be the way to maybe go CJ McCollum there. That seems to be about flatline, less than 1% expected ROI, but at least it's in the black. So I think that that's a better situation for it. The reason I like CJ McCollum last game so much is Anthony Simons and Damian Lillard. You start putting them in a pick and roll situation, and you just knew CJ McCollum was going to go crazy. Like there were a lot of situations where they can switch on to Lillard, force that situation, and you're set to go. You could say some of the same things about Poole, but like Dante DiVincenzo, above average defender, a lot of the guys coming in off the bench are there for defensive purposes. You know, Klay Thompson, probably one of the most underrated defenders, I think, in the NBA, especially now that he looks healthier, looks a lot better, especially offensively here of late. But he doesn't get enough credit for being a very solid on-ball defender. I don't feel all that enthusiastic about it, and I try not to look at individual matchups more than I do pace. And sure, Golden State, number one in pace in the association at 102.4 possessions per 48 minutes this season. But that's still not good enough when you're talking about 22 and a half. The books have kind of spiked a couple of those numbers. He was sitting at 20 and a half. If we wanted to go that direction, I took the entire portfolio at 30 and a half last game. Probably going to be a stay away there, but the 2.5 threes, I don't completely hate if the number is somewhat similar to minus 118 like it is at Bet Rivers.
All right, we have to find a bet. People are throwing stuff out. I feel bad, but this is what the market's telling us, right? This is what the tool that has been super successful for us. You see it on social. Greg's posting away our parlay video in the NBA hit as a result of using these tools. So we appreciate this. John Gill is asking about Cam Johnson's rebound specifically over. And I feel like I'm the bad cop in this duo here. Seriously.
Which is kind of great, which is normally it's completely the inverse. Normally I'm just like, you're like, Eric, what do you think about this? No, I say no a lot.
Well, I have to ruin Mr. Gill's night here and tell him that neither one of these sides are good. And don't get fooled, by the way, on the plus 106, the plus money that's staring in front of you for Cam Johnson's under 3.5 rebounds. It's a -2 XROI. The over 3.5 rebounds is one of the worst bets you can find on the board. So stay away from Cam Johnson's. We'll find you something else. I'm just saying stay away. That's all from Cam.
Don't be fooled by the rocks that he got. He's still Eytan from the block. Let's go.
Did you just quote J-Lo?
I did.
Now, to be fair, when we started the show, Nasir Little was at the start, and I said Nas, like the rapper Nas, because I was about ready to go into something like there. You can't even give me a Nas lyric. You have to give me J-Lo.
What's that one song from Nas that I really like? It goes dun da da dun 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 bam. Whatever. I'm not going to sing it.
That's fine. That's fine. I don't think people are upset that you won't sing it.
I don't think they are either.
That's okay.
We continue on. We move on. All
right, let's go to NHA. Let's build. Let's build. No house advantage. We have some more questions popping in. Unfortunately, we could not get to Brandon Ingram. No, I'm sorry. Cam Johnson's rebounds. We'll get to that. A couple more that pop in. I did see this, though, as far as PrizePicks, because we're going to hit PrizePicks coming up. But just as far as a question is concerned about EV better on 4-man or 2-man power plays, the best plays, and you are Mr. PrizePicks, but from my experience, from what I've seen, from strategy, from people like you, from people who are winning, the most successful, the most plus EV, the most profitable way seems to be the 5 and 6 leg flex plays over anything else long term.
Yeah, it's kind of the inverse of what you would expect, but when you're only getting paid out, similar like a basically 2-to-1 on your money, making everything a plus 200. If you just assume minus 110, you should be getting paid closer to plus 235. So it's more of a math thing than it is anything else. But the reason that the 5 and 6s can be so profitable is you can find plays that are just opportunistic. Like we're talking 60-ish% expected ROI. That's kind of the threshold I'm looking for on PrizePicks and NHA. And you're able to combine them with positively correlated plays. Like I can't emphasize that enough, because the average NBA game goes to overtime 6.4% of the time. That's a given fact. If you get an overtime where you take 6 overs on a specific player and you assume a 50% hit rate, you are looking at a positive EV card. So if you find 60% for a number of those plays, you're able to find positive correlation even at a 50% baseline. You're positive EV playing 5 and 6s all day long. You might not win today, but long-term, you're going to win more money.
I have good news for you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
We've ruined a couple of people's nights so far with these plays that they threw out. I did find the board has moved in the 38 minutes since we've started and went to the top of the play for OddsShopper Premium. We have some new plays available for people, including right there at the top, 2 new ones. THTs under 26.5 PRA with the strong
THT dynamite.
Don't you need to have a little more, like, higher pitch? You can go higher than that. Yeah. Come on.
Is that what you wanted?
What do you have tonight? You don't have any shows left, right? This is it.
This is it. This is all I got. I can let it loose.
There you go. I need I need that. I need a little of that. If you're going to give me THT. Now, do they do that in the stadium?
No, they do not.
When he grabs a rebound, do you hear TNT? You know, like
I would love it. It would make me so happy. Shout out Iowa State, Taylor Horton Tucker. Please just try to be good at one point. But I did hit the over of his 1.5 threes the other night. It's now projecting out very terribly. So I leaned that direction last night. I had a feeling that it wasn't going to look as good when I updated my model and everything in the morning. So it does not look good. It does not look good on OddsShopper.
No, but his under 26.5 PRA.
Makes
yeah, sorry, Mike. These are the top bets, right? Let's go to the top bet, shop bets NBA. And I'm just sorting by the XROY. So you can see that's the easiest way, because then you can have a determination. Like Xavier Tillman has a 5% XROI at plus 120, and you think, all right, this is a great bet, right? It's down a little bit, about 6 or 7 plays down a little bit. We talk about having plus ROI, like you have to have positive ROI, but it's at 48%. So that doesn't mean don't play it, but it means that you can find significantly more bets. For example, Kelly Oubre's 3-pointers. That might be the best bet that we have currently on the board here, E, because it's got a 6% XROI, which I get it is 1% less than the assist. But look at that. We have it as a 65% win. Now you're laying 160, which is part of the bargain and the return here. Oh, look at the pup. Got a little pup action behind you.
A pup? What?
Right?
What? No, he didn't show up.
Oh, I thought it was behind you.
Oh, no. You're seeing things. That's the ghost of my door's closed. He's not coming in anytime soon.
Was it your hand gesticulating like a dog? Do you move when you listen? Usually it's you move when you talk. Do you move your hand when people talk to you?
I'm an animated individual, but no, I was not doing anything. I was not. What? Okay. Lose yourself in the music the moment you want it. A little bit of that. Is that what you wanted? Yeah. I don't know, but I'm with you. Let's go back to basketball. Kelly Oubre, that makes sense. 65%
under 3.5 threes.
For all you parlay people, which I know we're getting there. We're going to get you guys a lot of opportunities there, but Kelly Oubre stepped into a lot more minutes. But when we're talking 3.5, that's a lot of usage alongside Terry Rozier, alongside Gordon Hayward, alongside some of these other pieces. So even though he has now stepped into a much larger role, it's not that large where we should be projecting him. Because again, if you shoot 40, let's just give him a baseline of 33% from 3. Okay. I haven't looked up what it is. You're assuming that you would need 12 shot attempts in order for him to be hitting the over. Like that's a lot of volume that you're talking about there. Like 12 would be like the comfortable number. It's a lot of threes to be asking for him here against Orlando. Not exactly going to be completely all about that pace, no treble. They're down at 20 at 98.7 possessions per 48.
By the way, Chris Karen weighing in. God only knows what Lindquist is doing with his hands. He lives with someone, though. I mean, you can't do that anymore when you're no longer living single, right?
Wow.
Are you going to give me that? Wow. Can you give me the theme song there, or was that before your time?
Jill? Is that what we're describing right now?
Living single. You don't remember that one?
No, I don't.
All right. Here's one. Shout out to FK Coolers on the chat. Great member of our Discord as well. He told me to go back to Cam Johnson because the market moves. Something that is 5 seconds ago, 5 minutes ago, 25 minutes ago changes depending on the market. So we actually have that rebounds prop under 3.5 rebounds at plus 110 on Bet River Sugar House has a plus ROI. Now it's less than 1%. But it's a plus ROI. The win percentage is 47%. I'm personally going to pass, but the tool tells you that you can bet this as a plus EV bet. It's not a smash. And our OS bet percentage is saying, be careful here and don't bet a ton on that. But this is technically a plus EV bet. It has changed since we last talked.
I love it. There's also been a change in the last second. Again, the market is a living, breathing thing. We are updating. These tools are updating in real time. Look at this De'Aaron Fox number that just popped up. Expected ROI of 10%, under 6.5 over at BetMGM. I am clicking over there, seeing if I can get something done in the next second or two.
What's the prop? Tell us.
Plus 105, under 6.5 assists for De'Aaron Fox. I just have some type of question mark about like the first game in a little bit. Does he come back and just play a massive workload here? Malik Monk. has been, kind of a one man. You don't exactly pass it to Malik Monk and create assist opportunities in the second unit. So De'Aaron Fox, when they do the staggered minutes, him and Domantas Sabonis towards the end of the third quarter into the fourth, I try to take advantage of that over on a site like PrizePicks, where you're able to do the fourth quarter scoring and Sabonis is only going to get like 6-8 minutes of run if the game is competitive there, just the way that those rotations work. So something to pay attention to there as well. But in terms of his assist allocation here, De'Aaron Fox is averaging south of 6.5 assists as is this season, 6.3. So I'm getting plus money on the under. Difficult, slower paced Clippers team in terms of a matchup. You do get Kawhi off the floor, but I mean, that's a pretty hefty number that he'd have to walk into pretty much immediately. Don't look at his box score for the last however many. That doesn't even matter to me. He played 45 minutes against the Clippers to go over that number. They had that double overtime game. So I'm looking at that assist number is way too large. It was a wrist injury, not a lower body injury, but still, right. Does he immediately play 36 minutes? I doubt it.
All right, let's head to NHA. By the way, the chat is just a gem, is it not? Chris is now fully immersed into you throw something out and I use it. I am now putting words and thoughts into the person chatting's mind. Like, of course, he didn't assume that I did, but he opened the door and we had circumstances saying that you're definitely too young and Caucasian to remember living single. Is that accurate?
Yes.
All right.
Unbelievable.
Sick you know that people. We have this ability on the OddsShopper premium tool, which you could get a week free. You see what we're doing here. We're giving you all this news, this information. We're doing it live as it happens. We're bringing you behind the paywall. We're not even hitting you over the head with like promo after promo and all this other shit. You know now to mix jalapeno peppers with popcorn. That's a gem you can take with you now. You can use that, right? You can use that, Eric, moving forward.
I will.
Right.
Because I have since I was like 16.
Exactly. Not you, other people. The tools that we have are available to you. We have a parlay builder, and then we have specifically for No House Advantage, a parlay builder, and specifically for PrizePicks. Now, there's not a ton to talk about here. We're just going to show you what pops up on NHA. Where you do have some wiggle room is depending on what you'd like to swap in or swap out. But if you look on our tools specifically, and if you look on the NHA, these are all rated at the same. So you're just getting win percentages here for these. You want to keep it. I like NHA and PrizePicks. I don't discriminate. If I can go NHL, if whatever the tool tells me, if the tool tells me that a League of Legends play works best, then the League of Legends play gets worked into PrizePicks. All right.
I love it. Yeah, it's so fun too because they take the top expected win percentage plays that are available over there, and you can directly add them to your plays too. I'm also building out sheets for DFS where we have stochastic projections that you can then utilize for the fantasy score over at PrizePicks. I mean, the whole ensemble, you're kind of covered no matter which direction you go to. But I usually take out the NHL ones, and then I'm piecing together everything else. I haven't updated my hockey models since October. Right. So I'm truly leaning completely on OddsShopper, but it's really, really done me well when I've tried to do some of the hockey props. I think the hockey prop shot on goal has the highest expected ROI of anything on our site. So if you want to blindly play those, I really strongly suggest having some hockey incorporated into the PrizePicks section, but let's put together an NBA one.
Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed because I'm on fire right now on our Discord. A 2-1 hockey night last night was a bad night for me. That's how hot things have been. They call me Mr. Hockey now. Andy is like, dude, I was hired to do hockey, and you got this schlub out here giving picks on the Discord. All right? That's the problem that I'm running into now. Let's look at what we have. I have Kyle Anderson under 4.5 assists at a 56% win rate. Wendell Carter Jr. under 10.5 rebounds. Ja Morant under 8.5 assists. Jalen Brunson pains me, Nova's finest, to say this, under 24.5. Now, I can add Damian Lillard under 49.5 PRA at a 54% X win. That's a 5-leg 21X play right there on No House Advantage.
That's tasty.
You like that?
Yeah, I think we kind of do that. They're going across country, going to Atlanta. Just doing the thing. I'm piecing this together. I'm adding it in. Yeah, Damian Lillard, the under of that looks really, really nice, actually. I hadn't considered that as a play. But again, that's the other beauty of OddsShopper, is being able to find plays that otherwise you hadn't been on. It's the same reason we like having everybody in chat throw in their plays so that we can kind of assess them and take a look at it. But even without Simons out there, I mean, that 70 spot is going to sit fresh in a lot of people's minds. It's going to inflate a lot of perception. And yeah, that's too high of a number.
Byron says Queen Latifah's mom used to be his wife in high school's teacher.
Congrats.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
My brother's cousin's Michael's best friend is the father of Joan Rivers. I don't know.
Joan Rivers?
That was the name that came to my mind. I don't know. Just trust it and go along with it.
Joan Rivers. Oh my God, it's Johnny Carson. Joan Rivers at the is that who it is?
My God, what have I done to you?
I don't know. This is only
created a monster. See, nobody wants to see Martian no more. They want Shady. I'm chopped liver.
You got to be careful quoting his stuff, man. You'll get canceled now. Half the shit he says you can't say. He can say it, but you can't say it.
That was a pretty benign lyric, I think.
You never know. There are people out there waiting for you. They're like the people sitting on the edge of their couch waiting for Tiger Woods to do something illegal so they can call up the Golf Channel and say, he did it.
I hope Tiger Woods is doing something illegal right now. I love that man so much.
So do I. And I can promise you that he is. He has to.
Are you going to play the Players next week?
Well, you know what? That's an interesting tease because we do throw our own little legs, our own little stuff in here. All right.
He hasn't announced. He's got to announce before tomorrow.
Right. By the way, FK,
got to enter the golf tournament.
All right. So we have our NHA parlay. All right.
Yep.
And we'll put this out here on Twitter. We'll do all that for you as well. The Anderson assists, John Morant assists under that. Jalen Brunson under 24.5 points. Lillard under 49.5 PRA. And I went Carter under 28.5 PRA. Okay.
Love it.
Actually, yeah, that's fine. So we go right back to the tools. Now we go to the PrizePicks parlay. And I'm going to do flex here, right? Because I like 6. Are you okay with 6?
Yes, 6. Let's go big. Go big or go home. And also, they have a $20 protected play for today. So $20, no matter what happens to the $20, you get it back in promo funds if it doesn't hit. You got to take advantage of that on Fridays.
Absolutely.
And you always go for 6 when you do it because it's just way more fun.
You have to. You absolutely have to. Now, no hockey here because Mr. Fun Guy here doesn't like hockey. I'm a fun guy. I don't like hockey. It's right. I could see you there. You were that was how you were in the show meeting. Mike Lawrence is asking you, can we do hockey on the PrizePicks? And you're sitting there like, I'm a fun guy. I can't
like the game of basketball.
You are asking me.
It's definitely my wife's favorite basketball moment of all time was Kawhi Leonard's laugh.
Oh my goodness. That's priceless.
She watched that on loop probably 100 times with me on the couch during the pandemic.
I couldn't get enough of that either. Are you keeping an eye on the chat, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Al Horford, we got some more that we have to get to, but let's knock this PrizePicks thing out.
Let's go.
So I had to remove a shit ton of hockey plays because you don't like that. I'm going to add. All right. So right now I have, by the way, Williams, Charlotte's finest, should be banned from the show after you threw him out there and ruined our NHA parlay on Wednesday. But that's neither here nor there. I don't remember anything like that.
Not very nice.
Tatum under 5.5 assists. Williams over 22.5 PRA. Booker under 5.5 assists. Now I'm going to add Alex Caruso under 6.5 points.
Yep. And I'm 100% going to add Anthony Davis points plus rebounds plus assists 43.5. I love that play today. Yep. It's on my betting card.
Great.
Yep.
All right. So that's 1, 2, 3. We need one more. And I would think, how about Kyle Anderson again, under 4.5 assists? That seems to be the.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Conley out there is just going to be a little bit more ball dominant. He's also somebody who likes to distribute the basketball in a very nice and giving way, whereas D'Angelo Russell, not exactly his forte when he was there in Minnesota. So I'm definitely seeing less opportunity for Kyle Anderson to be out there distributing, doing the things, played 28, 30, 26 minutes, kind of been sitting there. The big thing for me is Taurean Prince is back. So Taurean Prince had been out there for quite a bit. He hasn't played since he played 23 minutes on the 28th. He's played one game since February 16th. So when you get him back in the mix, they do find some minutes for him, and that usually cuts into Kyle Anderson. So it's an opportunity thing. I like shorting it.
Awesome. I think we've got a good one here. Mike's going to build it for us as we have it, but this is, again, a 6-leg flex play on PrizePicks.
42% expected ROI.
That is a monster, my friend. And we did it. Like, we didn't even have to think through this. You didn't have to go through your model, your projections. You didn't have to overthink this. You didn't have to go back and look at 16 different game logs or anything along the lines. We just took the market, and what the market dictated were the best plays to put in a parlay, or in this case, a flex play here. So keep it moving. Now, Mike, keep building that. I'm going to hit a couple of these with Eric. So just we'll let people see what we have. That's fine too. But I saw like Al Horford over 1.5 threes, Banchero over 28.5 PRA. Al Horford, that's an interesting one because he's a smaller market cat, right? Not somebody that is definitely going to be people racing to the window. Nothing real. All right. So the plays that jump out for Horford are actually assists and points. 3-pointers do not. Under 2.5, you're laying 210, and that's a -4x ROI. Over 1.5, you're laying 160 for a -2 x ROI. Granted, these have hit percentages at 60, 65. The point is that what you're laying and what you're losing long term, these are minus EV bets. What you could do, and this is where, if it jumps to you, man, this is a game against the Nets, which they should cruise, but Al Horford over 2.5 assists at +150. It's only got a 42% X win, but it has a 6% X ROI. Where you may find some middle ground, Lindquist, is under 9.5 points for Horford, -110 on DK for a 2% X ROI with a 53% clip.
I don't hate it whatsoever. I am a little bit surprised by the spread in general. The fact that this extended past 10 was a little bit surprising to me. Brooklyn has a lot of great wing defenders. They are on the back-to-back. It's kind of a trap spot for them, no doubt about it. Not that Brooklyn, we expect them to be super good by any means in the absence of Kevin Durant, in the absence of Kyrie Irving, but I am a little bit surprised. It is the 11.5 that you could have gotten last night. That's on my card. We'll see where that ends up finalizing here in the next hour when I put in my card, but I think the under of that definitely makes some sense on Al Horford in this spot. You could have the blowout go towards, go for you. You could see minutes going off to Sam Hauser. You have Mike Muscala, who they've been giving minutes to as well. And then Robert Williams, as he continues to be healthier, he has seen 30 minutes. They've been playing alongside each other a lot too. So Al Horford, under on his points definitely makes sense.
Reminder, we're going to get out of here in a couple of minutes. You can get a week free here. Just click that link below, sign up. That's the biggest thing, really. That's the biggest takeaway that we want from you, is just to try this tool out and see how easy it is as you're watching Mike do this with us, which isn't easy to follow Eric. Like, his mind is all over the place.
Shut up.
By the way, Paolo Banchero, PRA, stay away from it. The under 31.5 is a -7% XROI. The over is 2%. The plays that you could work tonight would be under 7.5 rebounds at +114, but that's just barely over a plus ROI. And the under a half 3-pointers at +140 has a 1% XROI, Eric, but the 42% win rate may be too little for you to play.
Yeah, I'm completely on board with everything there.
All right. Do you see anything else that you like jumping out? Well, we need to do our community
to finish it out.
I thought we did.
Oh, yeah. Well, last PrizePicks play, just for everybody, 21.5 fantasy score for Herbert Jones, way too low. Take more.
Okay.
Super quick.
Now we need our community parlay here.
Yep, ready.
So who won the vote, Mike? Or do you want to just did you give Mike, by the way, your play?
Well,
no.
It should be foregone conclusion that I'm going Nikola Jokic -105 triple-double. There's no way on planet Earth that I'm not playing Nikola Jokic to triple-double today.
Yeah, but, he needs to put that in the graphic. We're out of here in 2 minutes.
He needs to put it in the graphic.
Seriously. You were too busy doing your Kawhi. I can't even see where you're asking me to put that in the graphic.
That's a good one. That's a good laugh. Community parlay.
Well,
they are on the Lakers tonight.
Ooh.
How dare you, people?
Ooh,
How dare you?
That. I love those four. I think the Lakers, I know you're Pelicans. Look, fly, Pelican. But I think the Lakers
They're playing Minnesota, but good try.
No, I said the Lakers.
I do want the Pelicans.
That's
Pelicans,
what I meant.
That's what I
your
want.
Pelicans. It's two different games. All right, Lakers plus 100. That's one leg. Your leg is Nikola Jokic.
To triple
Nikola Jovic.
No, do not get those two confused. One will triple-double, one will not. I'll throw it that way.
Mila Jovovich.
I feel what you're putting down.
Do you remember her?
I do.
What's she doing?
No idea. Not participating in sports anymore.
What's her best movie ever?
I don't know. Gotta be, Rounders was incredible. And then,
was she, though, the best in Rounders?
No, she wasn't the best, but she was incredible. I mean, it's got to be GoldenEye. GoldenEye's the winner.
Not The Fifth Element?
No, GoldenEye.
Multipass. All right. Your leg is what?
I'm thinking of the wrong person. I'm thinking of the wrong person.
Yes,
I just screwed up.
Resident
Evil. Who's the chick from Rounders and GoldenEye? I thought that was Mila Jovovich.
We got to get out of here.
Whatever. You put your play in. Let's get out of here.
I'm going
minus 105.
Eric Lindquist has Nikola Jokic. Minus 105 is a triple-double. I am going, same odds, mind you. I'm going over the team total for the Seattle Kraken. That's right. Light them up.
Oh, my God. He brought the NHL back to finish it out.
Over 3.5 team total. Everybody's on Columbus. They're 2-0-1 in their last three. They're a tank version of the San Antonio Spurs. They're a fucking awful hockey team, and I'm riding against them. And I think the Kraken come off a back-to-back. Who cares? They light up the board here tonight. Give me over 3.5 team total for Seattle. All right,
Mr. Hockey.
Mr. NHL is back.
Let's go, Mr. NHL. I'm here for it. Eytan is not happy. No NHL show. There it was for you, AT. Bringing it home.
I needed just
get out of here.
Just a little bit. All right, go Jackets. See Eric Lee. Eric Lee just put $100 on the Jackets after hearing that one. Oh my goodness. No, this is like my NBA picks. We're actually hitting the NHL stuff. All right, my friend. Anything you want to get out here? Do you have any crazy ladder type play that you want to get out before we get out?
No, I didn't really see anything that I was super excited to go ladder. If I did try to go crazy, we talked about Brandon Ingram a little bit earlier.
I like that.
The usage is just out of control for him of late in the absence of Zion. Since he got healthy, he's playing 38 minutes a night. I mean, we're just seeing him take 29, 27 shots in 2 of his last 4. You start giving me that kind of a workload for a known scorer. Awesome stuff.
I know that the concern with Fox being out there, 27.5, not really too much for me to ladder. I'd love to go to Brunson, but the tool is telling me to stay away from his over there. What about a guy like Zach LaVine tonight to get you? Yeah. What about a guy like Zach on our way out? Just humor me here, right? Let me just see.
My dude.
What DK has.
I was betting him we just got an update as we got out of here. Tiger Woods not in the field for the Players' Championship. Just came through the wire.
Good. He does not need to be out there and hurt his legacy at that course. Over 24.5 right now is the standard play for Zach. All right. For Zach attack. 30 plus is 230, 35. All right. So I would do over. Like, you can't get a 25. Check FanDuel, shop around. But I would do 25, and I would look at 25 and 30 tonight for LaVine.
Love it.
All right.
Again, Zach LaVine, you can talk me into just about anything he does.
There we go.
Love him.
No, we said stay away from the Horford threes.
Yes.
All right. I'll see you on the way out. As always, we appreciate you rolling with us. Make sure you're following on Twitter at Eric Lindquist, at Shander Show. Thanks to Mike for producing. Thumbs up, subscribe. That shit really helps us out big time. Also, we've got a free week for you. Why not take advantage of that?
Do that.
Anything else? We're out.
No, we're leaving.
Let's go.
Yes, play the points for Horford. Under 9.5.